Guys, deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for having me. Rob Holding, obviously I'm speaking about Rob Holding right now. So yeah, Holding, surely he risks sleepwalking into the abyss and becoming a forgotten man of sorts. And what I mean by that is, no, he's not going to be here for 10 years or so and he's not played a decent amount of games, or he's not going to be able to achieve certain things. What I mean by that is, surely Rob Holding, he looks at his peers, give or take, they might not be the same age, and regardless of what you think at that for them, let's look at England for example. Joe Gomez and John Stones. John Stones, way more seasoned veteran, has played way more than Holding has in his career. Joe Gomez the same, with when you remember the fact that he was at Charlton. But regardless, they're better than him. They're clearly better. Both players are better than Rob Holding without a doubt at this current moment in time. I say that because I got a bit of bias towards Rob Holding and I like them both. A big thing they have is experience on him. They've got experience. They've been playing in the Premier League and below that at Barnsley and Charlton respectively. So there's an element of trust with the managers, and that's propelled Gomez to being a first team regular at Liverpool. Obviously injury shagged him a bit, but he's back in the lineup, and John Stones gets backed regardless of mistakes made by Pep Guardiola. But you look at, if I'm Rob Holding now, I'm believing in myself that, alright, cool, I'm a centre half. First and foremost, I need to defend. I'm a decent centre half. You saw what I did against Costa a couple of years ago. But Gareth Southgate, he wants ball playing centre halves. He wants people that are comfortable with the ball at his feet, and that's you. You've played in a back three or five, depending on how you look at it. On the left side of centre half, on the right side. I don't think, ironically, in the middle, but I stand corrected. So you can do that. Obviously, you're a centre half, and everybody wants to play for England. So that's a biggest carrot in itself, to be honest. But he's been starved of football. Like has he made 50 appearances for Arsenal? He must have, or just about that. But he really could have played a lot more football in the years he's been here. And I like Holding. I want him to play. I want him to make mistakes. I don't think he's the best thing since sliced bread. You've seen it. He's very naive at times. He, especially when dealing with different sorts of strikers. What I mean by that is Shane Long, for example. Regardless of what you believe about him and of his ability and them things, he's a real street smart striker. He will get on the last man. He will come tight. He'll push you and things like that and see what he can get away with. Holding doesn't recognise these things, or if he recognises it, he doesn't think, all right, cool, let me drop off a couple yards, or let me not get as tight. He doesn't learn that. He's still very naive, and a lot of that is because he hasn't played. Now Wenger specifically, he's played him in games and he stood out. And he famously played well against Leicester, and you saw the home. Sorry, Rob Holding didn't cost 50 million. And Unai Emery's come into this side, and we've seen Holding on the bench, but he hasn't made an appearance in the Prem. So both managers must see something that they believe that in the season he can step in at some point, or he can possibly put pressure on them. And I say this because him and Chambers signed new deals. Chambers was talked up initially by Unai Emery, and then he was farmed out on loan. And you think Chambers, give or take, I think Holding will be the better player, but I rate Chambers quite highly, whether he makes it here or not. But Chambers has more experience. So if a more experienced man is farmed out on loan and you're still here, that's a big vote of confidence and a new deal. But you haven't played much. Now, you'd like to think at the earliest opportunity for him to play, he could definitely play against Newcastle and things, but realistically, you'd think it'd be against Brentford in the League Cup or so, in the Carabao Cup. Either way, he's being starved of football, man. And the more we do this, the longer it's going to take him to become that player. He is at the stage where he needs to play games, and if it's not going to come here, it needs to happen somewhere else. It's not going to happen this year because it wouldn't make sense to loan him out. We really don't have. We have a lot of centre half options, but we don't. At the same time, I know you guys understand what I mean by that. But yeah, Holding's not perfect, but the only way he's going to become closest to being perfect is if he plays games, if he gets ripped by world-class strikers, if he learns from his mistakes and things like that. And on top of that, if Unai Emery, a big thing is playing out from the back and things like that, you'd have to argue Holding's one of the best centre-halves at the club in terms of playing out from the back. When you consider the rest of them. So there's clearly some positives for him to still be at the club, but I have to wonder, like, what aren't you showing in training, or what are these managers that have managed you not deeming? Because I do think Southgate is going to keep eyes on you, as he would keep eyes on everyone, but obviously you've turned 22. I don't think you can, so I don't think you can be in the England under 21 side, but you're not involved in England at any level. It's wishful thinking to think, are you going to get a run out in the Premier League? I would love you to, but Socrates and Mustafi clearly our first choice. I don't know what he's not showing or what he's showing to not deem worthy enough to get a chance, but it's down to him to kind of change that. He's at the period now where he needs to play some sort of football or get increased game time, because too often than not he was on the bench, occasionally keeping fitness with the under 23s and things like that. But yeah, man, he needs to play football. There's not much more to say on that front, guys. deluded. Get in the comments, subscribe, and do the rest. I'm out.